Hi everyone! Today I'm back with another process video for some travel pages in my Life Crafted album, and this will be featuring some products from Citrus Twist Kits, so some digital cut files as well as puffy stickers and stamps. This is going to be yet another interactive spread because I had a lot of photos I wanted to include. I think I included 13 in total on this page, and because you all know how I love interactive spreads. So I'm starting out with two large photos, approximately 4 by 8.25, and these are going to be the basis of my two pages. So one I'm going to do with the cut files, and that I'll save for later, and I'm going to work on the left side of the spread first. So this might make you wince, but I'm actually cutting through my photo just along the mountain range in my photo, because the idea is I'm going to create a pocket in which I can slide some journaling cards and some extra photos behind. And because the sky was so perfectly blue, I was able to get quite a clean cut around the mountains there, so much so that once I have the pieces together, if you don't have anything inside the pocket, it's really hard to tell actually that there is a pocket there. I am going to shift the top part of the photo down a bit from the top edge of the page, as well as shift the bottom half of the photo up a bit from the bottom half of the page. And that's just because I want there to be a slight overlap in the middle section where that pocket is, so that it's a bit easier for me to insert some elements behind the mountains into my pocket. And you can just see me testing out that idea here. Next up, I'm going to use my Tombow Mono permanent adhesive tape runner and apply adhesive all the way around the four edges of the top piece, making sure I go all the way to the edges because I don't want anything to be catching on that bottom edge when I'm pulling things in and out of the pocket. And for the bottom half of this photo, I'm going to use some 1/8 inch Scor Tape and apply that along 3 of the 4 sides, leaving the top side without Scor Tape so that I can slip some pocket cards in. You'll notice right now that the pocket is a bit deep, so if you try to put 3 by 4 photos, they might slide all the way to the bottom and you might not actually be able to see them and pull them out of the pocket. So I just used one of the 3 by 4 journaling cards. These are the new Everyday Life double-sided journaling cards from Citrus Twist Kits. And I'm just applying some more Scor Tape on that photo there so that it can serve as a stopper for my 3 by 4 cards so that when I put them in the pocket, they won't go all the way down into the pocket. Next, I'm just using some tweezers to peel off the tape backing from that photo and sticking that to the bottom of my cage there, making sure that I do have some overlap between the bottom half of the photo and the top half of the photo. Moving on, I've typed up some journaling on some clear sticker paper, and I've typed it up so that the size matches the box in one of these Everyday Life journaling cards. And I'm just sticking it into that box there, making sure it's nice and lined up. And I like to use my burnishing tool to burnish down that sticker paper as well. I just find it makes it a bit more clear on the pattern paper that you're using. After that, I'm going to flip it over onto the back side. Some of these journaling cards have journaling spots on one side of the card and then a kind of more neutral pattern on the back. So I'm just using this Sophie Alphabet stamp set, which is new in the Citrus Twist Kits shop, and I'm stamping out the words Pyramid Lake, which is the hike that we did. After that, I have a few ephemera pieces from the Citrus Twist Endless Sunshine pack, and I ultimately decided on this banner that says Explore. On the back of this card, I'm also going to add one of those ephemera pieces that says National Park, but ultimately I'm going to keep this card fairly simple because I don't want there to be too much bulk that can potentially catch on my photo pocket when I'm pulling it out. Next up, I'm just going to create a little flip out insert that I'm going to include in this pocket as well. And this flip out is going to include 3 by 4 photos as well as the gray documented journaling card. Just cutting a piece of vellum to 4.25 inches by 6.5 inches and folding it on the 6.5 inch side just in half so that I can have a 3.25 inch by 4.25 inch little flip out there. Because the vellum is see-through, I want to make sure that all of my 3 by 4 photos and my journaling card are going to be aligned properly. And to do that, I'm just going to start by adhering down my photo at the back first, and then working towards the inside photos, and then the front journaling card that's going to go as kind of like a title page here. Before I glue the journaling card down to my booklet, I'm just going to do some stamping in the little white space there. And I'm using the Good Time Adventure stamp set from Citrus Twist. This is another new stamp set in their shop. I pulled out a couple of Altenew dye inks from my ink stash, and I just chose some blues and some teals that matched the blues and teals in these journaling cards, as well as the embellishments that I used. And the colors that I have are Mountain Mist, Lagoon, and Emerald. And I also have my Gina K black amalgam ink as well. So first I stamped out the word fun in the Lagoon ink, and the reason why I was holding the stamp set over the journaling card was because I wanted to see how those arrow pieces would layer over the fun word. And so I just stamped the arrows in the Mountain Mist color, which is the lightest teal that I have. And then I layered the word phrase, the wildlife, on top of one of those arrows. Next, I'm just stamping the Nothing But Good Times circle in the dark emerald shade, just in the top left corner. And then I'm layering some more arrows in with the Mountain Mist color. Whenever I'm creating these layered patterns on journaling cards using my stamps, I always make sure to follow the rule of threes. So I have 3 arrows that I had stamped out in the lighter color, and then I have 3 sentiment type stamps. So I have the circle stamp that says Nothing But Good Times, I have the fun stamp, and the wildlife stamp. And I like to combine different patterns and different fonts as well. So all 3 of my sentiments have different fonts. And I make sure to use inks that all coordinate together so that none of the colors clash when I'm doing my stamping. Just adding one of these circle-shaped heart stickers from the Stars and Hearts puffy sticker set. And because the sky and the grass looked a bit plain in this picture, I'm just using some puffy word stickers from the Hello Sunshine puffy phrase and icon sticker set from July. And I'm just going to do the phrase shine always, because the shine is blue, which the sky is blue, and always is green, which is nice because the grass is green. And so that kind of coordinates with my picture a bit. Moving on to the right side of the page, I'm just using this digital cut file from the Citrus Twist Kits website. It's called Lovely Memories, and I picked out the floral pattern that doesn't have the frame around it. And I cut it out twice and just flipped one of them upside down. And then along the hinge where you're supposed to punch the holes to go into a Life Crafted album, I just scored at 1/2 inch on both of the pieces and then applied some 3/8 inch score tape on that 1/2 inch hinge there so that when I fold it over, it creates a hinge that I can use to attach onto the base page. And if you have 2 of them, one on either side of the page, it'll create a gatefold type page that you can open up on either side. So I have my base page, which I cut to the same size as a Citrus Twist Life Crafted album page protector, which is about 5 inches by 8 3/8 of an inch. And I did punch the holes in this page already so that I could make sure this gatefold wouldn't interfere with the holes. And I'm just removing the tape backing from the Scor Tape and applying my first gatefold piece on the right side of the Life Crafted album page, making sure that I go right up to the edge of the page. Next, I'm going to take my other gatefold piece, making sure that it is turned upside down so that it's asymmetrical from the other side. And I'm going to apply this one about 1/4 of an inch away from the holes so that it's not going to interact with the binder rings when this gatefold is opening and closing. And I'm just using my Tim Holtz design ruler to make sure that this is lined up evenly on that page. After that, I'm just measuring the distance between these 2 gatefold pieces so that I can trim down my photo to fit into that spot. And I'm just using my Tombow Mono permanent adhesive tape runner again to adhere this photo into place. I did have some bits poking out from the top of this page, so I'm just using some scissors to carefully trim that off before moving on to the next step. Here I have 8 photos of some of the gorgeous flowers that we saw during our hike, and these I had printed out at approximately 2 inches by 3 inches, and I'm going to be adhering 2 of them to the fronts and the backs of each of these gatefold sides. And I realized that for these gatefold pieces to fold down and lie flat, I might have to use some magnets to hold them into place. So here I'm just attaching my first photo. So I'm using some Tombow Mono permanent adhesive tape runner and putting that on the back of the photo and then adhering one of these magnets onto the back of the photo. I did use some Scor tape to make sure that the magnet stayed in place. And now I'm going to take another photo and place that directly over the back of the photo on the back of this gatefold so that they overlap with each other and line up. Here I'm just repeating those steps for the top pair of photos. And you'll notice that I did place these photos at a bit of an angle compared to the base of the page, just because I felt like it looked a bit more natural on the page rather than putting them straight up and down vertically. Next, I'm going to start adhering some photos onto that second gatefold that I have, and I do want to make sure that the photos line up when the gatefolds are closed so that it looks like there are only 2 photos, but then when you unfold the gatefold, there are actually 8. So in order to do that, I'm just placing my next photo face down on top of the back of the photo in the first gatefold. And then I'm just placing the magnet over where I have the magnet sandwiched between the 2 photos on the first gatefold. And because the magnets automatically attract each other, it'll just snap into place where it's supposed to land. And then I'm just putting the Scor tape on top of that magnet to hold it into place. Next, I'm going to use my Tombow Mono permanent adhesive tape runner to apply adhesive all the way around the 4 edges of that photo. And because I'm going to be closing that first gatefold onto the second gatefold with the adhesive side facing down, I'm going to just put something in between my photo and this cut file, just so that when I close this first gatefold to adhere the photo onto the second gatefold, the exposed adhesive won't stick onto my photo. So I just used the backing from one of the Citrus Twist puffy sticker sheets, and that worked out pretty well. Next, I can apply some more adhesive onto my next photo and sandwich that magnet in between those 2 photos. And then I'm repeating the same steps for the bottom 2 photos that I have left. I did realize while I was doing this that it might have been easier to work on the back page first and stick those photos down, and then work my way to the front and finish off with the first gatefold. But it worked out pretty well this way too, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And just a note with this gatefold that you can close it either way. So you can close it with the left side being on top, or you can close it with the right side being on top, and either way it would look fine. And just as a final finishing touch, I'm just adding this die cut piece into the middle of my photo. This one says "Ain't no mountain high enough," as well as "Hiking Life." And this one came from the Endless Sunshine ephemera pack as well. And that finishes up my spread. I love the way this turned out, and I had so much fun putting this together. I just love the cut files that I used and the interactive pieces and all of the bright colors on this page as well, both in terms of the photos that I had picked out for this spread, as well as the supporting ephemera bits from Citrus Twist and the puffy stickers. I just found that both the July releases and the August releases from Citrus Twist have really coordinated well together, and they work so well for documenting these summertime stories. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and make sure to hit the like button if you liked this video, and subscribe for more process videos as well. This is only the second spread that I'm doing for our summer adventures traveling throughout Alberta, so there will definitely be a couple more coming up soon. Thanks so much for watching.